and Moran sits corners and a big landmine kind of pops out. Oh no! Punches in a cradle, right? Typical Tristan Moran cradle, flips him over, gets the ball.
Especially considering that Jordan Burroughs steps on a landmine before he goes out there.
No.
And then that's it.
Every dog has its day. You never know. The things you can't predict are the things that always happen. Sal Mastriani with the mixer, first period.
Oh my goodness. That was too quick. Landmine?
I don't know what to tell you. He had a mixer. He didn't see it coming. No one tried a mixer on Zane Rutherford.
What's going on, everybody? We are back live for another episode of HMA Fantasy Wrestling. Joined today, our special guest is Logan Seaver, four-time national champion, to break down the Buckeyes quarterfinal bout with the Minnesota Gophers. How's it going, Logan?
What's up, guys? Things are good. Life is good, and I'm excited. I like to talk wrestling, especially Buckeyes. So, yeah, let's do it.
Logan, where are you right now, my man?
I'm in Columbus, Ohio. So I live here, and my wife, and just living here.
And how has quarantine been affecting your life for the most part?
I mean, I've been probably a little bit busier, trying to be creative and trying to help the RTC and the Seaver Elite at Wrestling Academy. Forgot the name there for a second, but so it's good. I'm okay in a kind of quarantine and isolation, and I'm not bad talkative. So my wife is the opposite. So she's ready to get out, but yeah, things are good. We're healthy, so yeah, life's good.
That's fantastic. Jacob, how are you today, my man?
Pretty good, man. I've been outside doing remodeling furniture all day long. It seems like that's all I do every day. So fun stuff though, man. Ready to get on and talk about wrestling. This duel is going to be fun.
Dude, same. Word up. Sam Herring, how are you?
I'm doing great as well. Excited to get talking wrestling. We've had some fun duels coming up to this point, and I'm excited to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and share this graphic with us. And we can talk just for a second about what happened last night, because that was absolutely crazy. Let me find this thing. Sam, you want to tell us a little bit about what happened last night?
Yeah, so last night we had Seth Gross and Jack Mueller come on to discuss an insane duel between the Wisconsin Badgers and Cornell Big Red. It was insane. 2 landmines used for Wisconsin to pull the upset. 12 points, and Seth Gross is leading the Badgers all the way to the semis. They were the 13 seed. Started out by upsetting Oklahoma State and then upset Cornell.
I've got to say, I think we gotta put a cap on that for the semifinals.
Why?
I don't know. I'm worried about Penn State getting, I don't know, quadruple landmined.
Well, we only do 2.
Hey, whatever happens, right?
Whatever happens.
That's why they wrestle the matches, man.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
No, and it was insane though, because I mean, I was hoping that one of these teams would make a run. And looking back at it, I don't think it was that crazy. The landmine idea is pretty cool because, every once in a while, somebody can get caught, right? It happens all the time. And I think it's cool looking back at it. The first duel, how Wisconsin's path to victory over Oklahoma State was Tristan Moran catching Dean Heil. And I mean, if you've watched Dean Heil wrestle, obviously he's a 2-time national champ. He's awesome. But the dude kind of flirted with danger a lot. And so that's not too unrealistic. And then jumping into the next round last night, we had a huge pin, Andrew Howe locking up a body lock and taking Dake to his back.
Oh God, you don't want to have Dake on here discussing that.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't see it.
Oh man,
it's a scary thought that he's only getting younger. So,
but I mean, come on, like Sal Mastriani over Zane.
Hey, it happens.
I suppose so.
He mixed it, man. What can you say? All right. Well, let's go ahead and let's jump into this one a little bit. Let's just, before we jump into actual matches, run through the lineup on either side like we normally do. So I guess I'll go ahead and get started for Minnesota. The number 6 Minnesota Golden Gophers took out Illinois, and they pretty much stomped on them in the first round. Big upset, Dylan Ness, Gator Bacon, Isaiah Martinez. So that was pretty cool. I got a little bit of payback there for Ness, but tonight sending out the lineup for the Gophers is going to be Ethan Lezak at 125. He's a national finalist. Jason Ness, 133, national champ, Hodge Trophy winner. Mikey Thorne, multiple-time All-American. Brayton Lee, All-American as a freshman. Dylan Ness, 2-time finalist, 4-time All-American. Cody Yon, multiple-time All-American. Logan Storley, a 4-time All-American. Steinhaus and Schiller, both 3-time All-Americans. And then Tony Nelson, 2-time champ, 3-time finalist. So that is the lineup. That's what we're looking at for the Gophers. Usually we would let the guy that made the lineup over here call out our lineup for Ohio State. But since we got one of the best Buckeyes ever on, might as well let Logan, can you kind of run through it for us?
I can, yes. I think I'll get the stats correct, but don't crush me if I don't. So 125, Nate Tomasello, absolute stud. Listen, I'm feeling good about the Buckeyes, by the way. It's a good lineup. But Nate Tomasello, 125. Me at 133. I had to cut a little bit of weight, I guess, but that's fine because Lukey P, right, who's going to win the title this year. I think him and Nick Lee have some cool matches. So I didn't say already, but Nate's a one-time champ, 3-time third, 4-time Big Ten champion. You guys know my stuff. Luke was 2-time All-American, a true senior this year, number 1 ranked all year, besides maybe a month, and then he got the number 1 ranking at the end of the year. So felt good about that. Lance Palmer, national finalist, Big Ten champ, I think a 4-time All-American, beat Metcalf, so I feel good about that. Micah Jordan, absolute stud, finalist last year at 149. He wrestled 3 different weight classes for the Buckeyes. I think he's 3-time All-American. Bo Jordan, again, 4-time All-American finalist, absolute stud. Nick Heflin, I believe a 3-time All-American, made the finals, lost to Jaden Cox his senior year, 197. Miles Martin, champ as a freshman, then 3 other time All-American. Colin Moore, 3-time All-American, was about to win it this year. So Colin Moore is absolute stud. And then Kyle Snyder, 3-time champ, 3-time Big Ten champ, and Olympic champion, all that stuff. So feel good about the weight, top to bottom. So I hope you guys have extra landmines if you're Minnesota fans here.
Oh no. Logan, would you change anything about this lineup, or did I do a pretty good job?
You sure you want to make that cut? I don't know.
I don't know if I want to make the cut, but 33.
I think 33-41 was really interesting because we originally had Pletcher at 33 and you at 41. And then also we had Joey McKinnon to think about that, couldn't decide who goes where, when.
I would say put me at 49, but I don't know if I want to wrestle off with Lance. So
have you ever wrestled him before?
Yeah, he came in a little bit, he helps me with some stuff with the legs and stuff. So the guy is an absolute tank. He's so strong and very hard to take down. So dude was an absolute stud. And now he's, fighting people and beating people up. So
yeah.
So so I don't know. I like the lineup. I think you guys did good. And there's always different people, I like Hunter at 41, me at 41, Joey at 41. We like to call ourselves 141U. Reese at 33, Reese at 41. So Jay was 09. So we got some good guys, you could put Miles at 74. Who was 84? 84, Kenny All-American. I mean, yeah, we have a good squad. So, yeah, I like it. I like it. You know, I think it's I don't think we missed anybody, but maybe we're like, wow, I can't believe we forgot him. So,
yeah. No, it's I had to do my best to try to get the ideal Ohio State lineup here, and I was going pretty much off of statistics.
So Jude, because of your last minute decision to switch around Logan Stieber and Luke Pletcher, Jason Ness got the Twitter poll vote over Luke Pletcher, but because we slid down Logan, Jason Ness still gets to vote. So that one's going to be overcome.
I think this one's a pretty easy one in my opinion. But before we get to that, let's decide what matchup we're going to start with. We usually kick that to the lower seeded team. So who made the Minnesota team?
I did.
All right, Jacob, where are you starting it off?
Man, it's a tough one. It's a really tough one looking at all the
Logan
good guys.
Right off the scale?
Yeah. All the good guys you got on the Gophers. I'm like, all right, I want to start with him. And then I look at who he's wrestling and I'm like, maybe not. Yeah, we're going to start at 157. We're going to start with our we're going to try to blow the top off the duel right off the bat. So we're going to start at 157.
Ooh, okay. Well, then let's get right into it. And let me kick it to Logan Stieber and tell us a little bit about Micah Jordan.
Well, Micah was a beast. Could shoot like crazy. You know, awesome, just absolute awesome worker. Never had any issues. And you know, just leading up to, you know, when he went any weight class, right? The coaches asked him to do. He went 3 different weight classes. But leading up to, you know, 149, you know, he got ridden out and turned by Ashenall, and we worked for months and months and months on just getting away. And you know, he still lost Ashenall. Ashenall's a beast, but he didn't lose because he got ridden out. So, you know, he spent hours and hours and hours getting ridden out by the best guys on the team, on the staff, and I mean, Mike is just absolute all-star. So I have Micah. I have Micah winning a nice match, and we'll might as well do a landmine here. Dylan Ness is kind of crazy. So I don't know if I like the rule, but the rule's there. So I'll go Micah Jordan, landmine, and listen, Dylan Ness threw himself to his back. What do you want?
Right. Whoa, he's
right off the bat. Really? Oh my.
UNCP.
Yeah.
So
dude,
that's
Ohio State's going
already.
they're trying to blow Minnesota all the way out of the water.
Yeah, I'm trying for a shutout. This is a match that is a tight match. Dylan Ness is a beast. So I just think that listen, back and forth match. Dylan tries to gator bacon him, and listen, we prepared all year for this. So,
you guys have been training in the room grinding.
So I have a with that. So
I have a question. So is it off of Micah's shot, and he goes all over the legs. He's all over him. Can't let him breathe. Ness just like desperation goes for it, puts himself on his back.
Well, listen, Dylan didn't help himself. You know, if he got 3 of them, he'd try for a 4th one. He loved it too much, right? So you live by the sword, and you die by it. So sorry about that one.
Oh.
Man,
my gosh.
I started this duel off at the only place where I was like, yeah, okay, we're going to win this one. We got it.
That's the one I thought when I thought landmine. I mean, you could give me a landmine. I'm good with it. Jason's a beast, but I thought, you know what? Micah might need it. He might need it. Dylan's a tough guy.
Ohio State's going to run through this quarter now.
Oh, no. This might be the quickest episode ever.
All right. Well, that happened. So Dylan Ness goes for his signature gator bacon and gets stuck. The Buckeyes on the board 6-0. Awesome. So
dude, it paid off for him against Imar last, like literally 6 days ago.
He's coming in hot off the gator bacon, pinning Imar, a little too confident, maybe slips and doesn't get it. So
man.
All right, 165.
Dylan Ness was good with that gator bacon. If only he was good with it.
Dude, he's awesome with it.
I know.
Awesome.
All right.
All right, so 165, we're going to have Bo Jordan versus Cody Yawn. I guess I'll start it off again. Cody Yawn was, I believe, a 3-time All-American. Let me make sure. But nope, he was a 1-time. I was thinking of the other Yawn. Cody Yawn was a 1-time All-American. He got 7th place. Had a solid career record of 154. But I don't know how much of a match he's going to be for my man Bo Jordan. So, Logan, can you tell us a little bit about Bo?
Yeah, Bo Jordan, 4-time All-American, and 65 and 74. He was good on top, right? He had a banana split, we called it, right? So he was awesome there, and he's just a guy who just worked well. He had some foot issues. He had crazy foot issues that kind of hurt some things. But he fought through them, and Bo, now he's on staff, and he's just, honestly, Bo Jordan in college was good. You should see the guy now. About 175 pounds of pure steel, and kid is, he's got better. So, yeah, I feel good about Bo here. Cody Young's tough, but, Bo, especially Bo, 165, freshman year, 165, he was pinning people. Ooh.
That's Bo with the flow too, right?
That's with the flow, exactly. That's extra points.
Yeah.
Oh man, is Bo going to transition to freestyle, or is he just going to do coaching?
No, he's just coaching. Yep. So he only wrestled, I think, 1 freestyle tournament ever.
Whoa.
At Akron, he wrestled at Akron after his redshirt year, and just not a freestyle guy. So yeah, he's all in on coaching.
I find it kind of interesting. I guess I always expect the top wrestlers to also, do freestyle all through high school and stuff like that. But I found out that Jason Knoll, I don't think he ever went to Fargo. He never did all that stuff, which is just kind of interesting. I don't know. It just seems like the culture around freestyle wrestling.
Are you sure he never went to Fargo?
Or at least not until his senior year.
Checking here,
dude. And
that's weird.
It seems like the culture around freestyle wrestling in America is, you wrestle folk style during the season, you do a little freestyle over the summertime. I don't know. It's just a thought.
Man, looking at the Ohio State lineup, just it's nails all throughout. National champ, and then the guys that aren't national champs, a lot of them, we're talking
Fletcher?
about. Yeah, we're talking about after we get done with this whole deal, jumping into a best to never win it bracket. And there's so many dudes on this lineup that if they aren't a national champ, they're going to go in that bracket probably. So, man, just insane. I don't know where Minnesota's going to.
By the way, Jacob, I wanted to tell you I thought of somebody today. I don't know. It just randomly popped up in my head for that. But Mark Schwab is a vote for me that should definitely go in there.
What?
Dude, let's I say we get the votes in for this match. Tell us about. Oh no, you did already. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's Bo Jordan all day.
It is. Cody Young was good. I think he was a 4-time qualifier, but man, that's just not on the level of Bo Jordan. So unless anybody's using a landmine, we all got Bo Jordan.
I got Bo Jordan here in this match.
All right,
Absolutely.
and the people had the same. So that's 5 votes in favor of Bo Jordan.
Awesome.
And
all right, so let's move down to
9-0.
174. 9-0 lead for the Buckeyes. I will kick it off with my man Logan Storley. Logan Storley was a 4-time All-American. He got 6th, 4th, 3rd, and 4th. He was in that awesome 4-year stretch of just packed 174 weight class. You had Mike Evans, Matt Brown, Kokesh. Who else was in there? I think Howe might have been in there one year.
Howe, I think was, yeah.
Heflin was in there. It was an absolutely just crazy bracket, and all those guys somehow were the same year, and so they were just every single year together. A lot of fun to watch it shake out.
Did these guys ever hit head to head?
They had to have.
Yeah, I think they did. I actually do not know who won. I know. I don't know.
Oh, I think I might have found it. Here, 1 second. You guys keep talking. Yeah, he beat Nick Heflin 7-3 at the 2013 NCAA championships.
Man, he
My.
probably win them.
Yeah. So, all right,
think-
Logan,
I think
what's
that's right.
what's Nick Heflin's stats? What can you tell us about him?
Three-time All-American, and he got big and he started hate cutting weight. So senior year he went 197 and he wrestled Jaden Cox and he only lost one match all year before that. And I think Heflin, he got hit for stalling, which was, I mean, Jaden's my guy, so Jaden's a beast, but I don't know if the stalling with 30 seconds left to go in the third period of a 1-1 match in the finals is the right call. But nonetheless, Heflin, he didn't really attempt anything until about 6 seconds left. And if he maybe would have attempted it with 10 seconds, he would have got it, try to throw. So yeah, so a tough loss. And obviously we didn't know much about Jaden at the time, but obviously now he's an absolute star. So yeah, this is a good match. I mean, if you go by stats, right? I mean, Nick made the finals. I don't think Logan did, but yeah, it's a tough match. I think my guy Nick, because we're home, Ohio State. I think my guy Nick would win. It would absolute heater. I know that because Logan Storley was tough, and I know those guys all wrestle overtime matches.
So I pulled it up. Storley won the head-to-head in the Conci semis of the 2013 174 NCAA wrestling bracket. And Storley won 3-2.
Wow.
Tight match.
Conci semis? I mean,
yeah, Conci semis.
At that point, what's the difference, right? 5th or 4th or 3rd?
Yeah.
Guys are tired. They're ready to go hang out, I'm just kidding.
Logan, how would you know?
Logan's like, what's the Conci's like?
That's fine.
Oh man.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'll go the other way. I'm going to go with Logan Storley. I think the head-to-head doesn't mean a whole lot.
Especially because it's peak, right?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean a whole lot to me with the head-to-head, but that was it. I was struggling trying to figure out which way to go with it, and that just maybe tipped me a little bit more that way.
I'm right behind you too.
Every time I think of Logan Storley, I just remember that awesome match, and I think it was the quarterfinals with Kokesh, where Kokesh was up by 1 point with 10 seconds left, and he just decided to turn and just run, and Storley dove at his ankles and just caught his ankles and got 2 and 1. And it was in overtime.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was insane.
Wasn't Kokesh number 1 seed?
Yeah.
Crazy. Who wanted that?
I think that year was, I want to say that was Matt Brown. Was that the Matt Brown Wilps or?
What year was
I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm not sure. I'll look it up.
I'm gonna go.
So you're the deciding vote now, Jude. We got 2 for Heflin between Logan and the Twitter polls.
Don't choose wrong, Jude.
All right,
Don't be intimidated.
I think I'm gonna go with
Intimidated.
I think I'm gonna go with Nick Heflin. All right, I'm picking peak Nick Heflin. Whoa, peak Nick is going to win over Logan Storley, even though Logan won the head-to-head. I mean, Nick made a national final. So I'm gonna take Nick Heflin in this match. Also, both of these guys, big muscles, really big muscles.
Nick Heflin has a little bit bigger muscles.
Heflin does.
Yes.
Oh man,
Heflin's a big dude.
They're both big dudes.
Man, what was I gonna say? Oh, so you're talking about how Heflin made the finals and lost to Jaden. Obviously, we got Jaden over there at Ohio State now. How does that go? How's that going?
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. So it's right now it's downtime, but yeah, he's been there. He came a bunch of times before all the quarantine stuff, and just awesome stuff, man. Having him in the room, just his mind and his wrestling ability, it's so beneficial to our guys, and it's great for him. He's at the training center, and he's got good partners there, but. I don't know. I don't think he has partners, like Miles or Colin Moore or Desi or some of our guys. So, it's really good for both parties, and it's fun to watch. I like to sit back, I'm like the coach, but it's like I just sit back and watch them. It's so fun.
Awesome. Hey, can we go on a tangent very quickly? Logan,
Go for it.
you tell us about the nickname Logie Bear and where did it come from?
It's a good question. I haven't heard in a while, but I when you guys kind of growing up, you guys have all this technology and stuff. You just you get born and nowadays parents are making the kids Instagrams for them or they're one. But so I was a freshman in college. We were in our dorm and Twitter just became kind of a thing. So we were like, let's create Twitter names. So just kind of talking and all of us had funny names and my one friend, one of my best friends, it was like, why don't we do Logie Bear? We always say Logie Bear, and that'd be kind of a fun name. So I couldn't have straight up Logie Bear. There had to be some underscores because somebody must have done it. But yeah, kind of how it came.
Based off of like Yogi Bear, right?
No, it's not. But
It's not at all. Come on.
It's got to be a little bit.
I mean, I guess maybe he had that phrase in his mind. So yeah, but that Yogi Bear was never brought up to me.
Yeah.
It's like a nickname. You guys everyone has nicknames, Oh
yeah. I look back at that bracket. It was 2014. And yeah, it was a quarterfinal. Storley won in tiebreaker 2. And then he hit Andrew Howe and lost 6-3 in the semis. And Perry beat Mike Evans on the other side. Then we know Perry won. But that was a crazy bracket. And Storley and Kokesh actually hit in the third place match 2 years in a row. Kokesh winning the first one and Storley winning the second one. But unfortunately, Storley lost today. So I guess I'll just stop talking about it.
I hate to see it when they win the head-to-head matches, when they lose the fantasy matches. But sometimes it happens. Okay,
well, it doesn't get as bad as Jude the other day when he goes – yeah, I don't remember who the two guys were, but he was like –
Didn't we just talk about this last night?
Yeah, we did. We're going to talk about it again.
All right.
Because we'll use these guys. It was like Logan Storley beat Nick Heflin, but Heflin beat this guy who beat Storley. So transitive property, Heflin beat Storley. We're like, what? You started it off saying this man lost, but whatever.
What? This is –
It was craziness. I couldn't believe it.
We'll get going. We're gonna go a little slower than usual, but 184. We're gonna have Miles Martin and Kevin Steinhaus. We'll let the Buckeyes go first this time. So Logan, tell us a little bit about Miles.
Yeah, Miles, right? He's training with us now, and had a good year. Beat Derringer, lost to Zahid, and won a tournament in Spain, I believe. So, I mean, obviously his stats. True freshman champ, beating Bo Nickel. Second year, moved up to 84. I think he got 5th. He lost to his junior year. He lost to Bo Nickel in the finals, and then his senior year, number 1 seed. Crushed everybody and got upset. But like a true warrior, you guys are young. I don't think Jacob wrestles anymore, but maybe he does. Well, you guys that are young, you guys ever be expected number 1, and you take a loss, right? Don't be I'll forfeit out, right? You guys wrestle hard back, because one day when you guys are coaches or telling people what to do, and you try to tell somebody to keep wrestling, they'll be like, nah, you didn't wrestle, I'm good. So he fought hard and got back, got 3rd, and did it for the team, did it for himself, and obviously he didn't have the match he wanted, but finished strong. So
I was just watching the Henry Cejudo Flo documentary this morning, and Henry lost at the U.S. Open, I think, and just left and didn't finish it out. Got kicked out of the Olympic Training Center for a month. Terry Brands wouldn't let him back because he didn't keep going.
I respect that. I respect that from Terry. I mean, I've lost plenty of times when I was supposed to be number 1, and you always want to try to quit, at least for a second, right? But hopefully you have good people around you that say like, no way. And then you're like, yeah, you're right. No way. Okay. So
Logan, I have a question. So I have not had the level of success that you had, right? I'm not a 4-time national champ.
That would be more impressive if you were already a 4-time national champ.
Yes, I know. But I've always been in a position where I'm chasing my goal, having not achieved it, right? How did you manage to keep that sort of motivation to keep going and winning titles after, your freshman year, you win one, I'm sure that was your goal for that season. What was that? How did you remotivate yourself?
Well, I mean, just like, I mean, I liked wrestling, but of course I like to win, and it's like almost anything, right? When is it enough?
Right.
So for me, it's like, yeah, I won one, check the box, but then what's next? Let's try to make the Olympic team. Didn't make the Olympic team. It's like, okay, let's win another title. So, for me, it's you have the long-term goal of, I want to be four-timer like everybody else. But then it's like, okay, what do I need to do short-term? And, there's different ways, right? You can I said this in a thing on Monday, but it's like you kind of see your movie, right? You're looking forward in the future, and you see your movie, you see the credits, and you know what happened in your movie at the end. So it's like, how did you get there? How did you get to the end of the movie? And then you kind of reconstruct what you want to happen, right? You want to win the title, and after the end of the year, it's like, how do you get there? Was it because you stayed out late and missed a couple practices and didn't do the right things? Because that usually doesn't happen at the end of the movie, right? If you do the wrong things and you end up on top, that usually doesn't happen. So it's like, what can I do to make my ending how I want it? So listen, I like to win, and I loved wrestling, and I trained like an animal to get there. And even when I didn't do the best things or made mistakes, it was still, let's do everything we can to get to our goal. And I knew my short-term goals would equal up to my long-term goals.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Very, very interesting.
Kind of a follow-up question. So obviously, one of the few to win four. They're all going to be like their own matches in different ways, obviously. But which one was the toughest? Maybe not like the toughest, person, but just like the toughest match. Finals match.
Probably my second, because I think the toughest person was Jordan Oliver. I think that's pretty, just looking at stats. I think the toughest person is Jordan Oliver, but I was the underdog. So for me, it was like I was expected. Of course, I wanted to win, but it was like, well, I lost to him earlier in the year, and I made the finals, and it was like, okay, it's to lose. I was expected to lose, which is, most people won't say that, but that's kind of the real thoughts, not the coach talk thoughts. So I was like, yeah, I mean, I don't want to lose, but I felt free. It's like when, it's, it was like almost like I had nothing to lose, because if I lost, I was supposed to lose. So that one wasn't that high pressure. With Ramos, it was the fifth time I wrestled him, and the matches were getting closer, and I did not like Iowa. And I liked Tony because I knew him for a while, but he was starting to make me not like him. Now I love Tony. He's the man and a great coach. But I was like, it was starting to be like, okay, enough. How many times I got to wrestle this guy? And, my junior, senior year, I felt really confident in myself. Not that I didn't feel confident before, but so probably the hardest, like, kind of mentally and that type of thing was probably my second year against Ramos.
Man,
That's cool.
Did you ever expect to be a four-timer, like going into college?
I mean, I don't know. That's
right. I know it's a hard question, right? Everyone goes into college. They're like, yeah, I want to be an undefeated four-timer, do a Kale.
Right. Yeah, I wanted to. I didn't expect it though. No, I expected I was going to win 4 state titles. I was in a small school division. I thought I was going to win 4. I did not expect to win 4. But after I won my first one, I did. I did after I won the first one.
Was that it? Was that the moment getting your hand raised, you're like, yeah, I can do this 3 more times? Or was it more like,
it was like in the back of my head, for me, I'm like, well, I still got to wrestle Ramos. So this,
yeah.
And Dardanes and all this stuff. So I'm like, you know what? Like, it's where I thought, like, yeah, I can do it. I think I'm going to do it, but obviously nothing's ever given.
Right. 100%.
Cool. Well,
Interesting
I'm sure we're
questions.
gonna have more questions throughout this, but let's
I like
let's
that. Okay.
do what?
I like the question. So whenever you have any that pop up, it's
Oh, awesome. Well, we're gonna definitely sprinkle them throughout.
Right? It's not every day you
let's-
talk to
Oh,
Stieber.
all right, so we never put our votes in for 184. Well, actually, I never said who Kevin Steinhaus was.
Well,
Yeah, so we got way off. But Kevin Steinhaus was a 3-time All-American, 8th, 5th, and 5th. And then I think his junior year, I don't know what happened, maybe an injury, but he didn't actually didn't place that year. But dude was jacked, and he was fun to watch wrestle. But I don't think he's any match for Myanmar here. So I got Myanmar.
I'm going with Miles Martin. Funny story. One time I called at M2, Logan, I wrestle for David's club. And I said, I called him Mymar instead of Miles Martin, and everyone made fun of me because they're like, Jude, why are you calling him by his Twitter username?
That's funny.
That was David still picks on me about that. So I'm gonna take Miles Martin here in this wrestling match, this wrestling contest.
I got Miles too,
Sam
I'm
Herring.
taking Mymar.
but I got Miles.
What do you mean? Why are you picking his Twitter name? Why are you calling his?
Because
All
it's
right.
his nickname. I'm allowed to call him by his nickname.
I know.
So 197, Colin Moore versus Scott Schiller. I guess I'll go ahead and do Scott Schiller first. He was also another 3-time All-American. The Gophers really had a run of really good dudes at 197 for like 8 years in a row, 7-8 years. They had Sonny Yon earned All-American honors 3 times in a row. Schiller was 3 times in a row, and then Farr twice in a row made a final. And Schiller was sandwiched in there, so I think he didn't start his freshman year because of Yon. But 3-time All-American, 3, 4, and 5. But you have definitely one of the better ones to never win a title standing across from him right now. So 197, Colin Moore. Logan, what can you tell us about Colin?
Colin he actually just signed with Ohio RTC, so that's cool. But he's someone where I think you kind of look back and it's you want to make sure when you have someone who's really good and you expect to win, you don't, as they say, don't count your chickens before they hatch. So it was like, Colin Moore is a freshman, won the Big Ten title. He lost to he ended up losing to the guy he beat, I think Brett Farr, and then he and Jaden Cox won the weight. But it was like after that you kind of look, you're like, okay, well, Colin's gonna win 3. Who's in his weight? Good guys, but Colin was crushing people. And he gets upset his sophomore year. Junior year, Bo Nickel comes up and beats him in the finals. And then this year, obviously, we thought he was going to win. He crushed everybody all year, but he didn't get to compete. So, I mean, Colin's one of the best guys, never win it. Definitely, I think would have won it this year. But when you have a chance, man, you gotta do it because you never know what tomorrow brings. So I do think this is going to help Colin, help motivate him. But I would actually love to see this match, by the way. I think
It'd be really fun.
but Scott Schiller could wrestle. I remember his match with Kyle were awesome. So Scott Schiller was a beast. This is a sweet match. I got Colin because I don't know if Scott ever was ever going to win it or was ever favored to win it. Sorry. And obviously I think Colin was able to win it a bunch of times. So I got Colin, but fun match, man. Fun match.
Yeah, no, I definitely would love to see this. I was like, I'm just a fan of wrestling, man. So I don't really I kind of lean Iowa. I like Iowa a lot, but I just love wrestling. And I remember this kind of team that came through from Minnesota because a lot of these dudes were right on the same team. And Schiller was definitely one of my favorite guys to watch when I was younger. He was awesome. You said it. But like you're saying, I think both guys are awesome. It'd be a fun match to watch, but Colin just got a little too much for him. So it's Colin for me.
Give me Colin Moore, please.
I see Colin getting to his dump so much in this match. I feel like Scott Schiller kind of goes to underhooks, a little bit too much for Colin Moore and that style matchup.
Get that.
Like
So-
Colin Moore he very similarly to Nick Lee will take that arm and run it forward, and I think he finds this a lot in this match. So 18-0 Buckeyes.
Like that.
I got a
Oh
question.
my gosh, are they gonna blow him out of the water?
Probably. But for Colin, his sophomore year, obviously we talked about, everybody knows he got upset when he was the number 1 seed. What you were coaching there then, right?
I mean, I've been on the RTC. I've never been officially on staff, so I was on the RTC wrestling, and then now I'm coaching RTC. So
I was just
I
wondering.
was there, every day.
Yeah, because you're talking about having that like mental fortitude to battle back on the backside. Like, what did you see from Colin being the 1 seed and getting upset, and then he came back and got 4th?
Yeah.
That's obviously hard to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think Colin, he's someone who, he didn't have the results he wanted, but he's a very tough guy, and he's had tough coaches his life, so his whole life. So I think not forfeiting. We usually don't forfeit, but kind of laying down is not in the DNA. It's not going to happen. He's going to fight, and he ended up losing for 3rd and 4th, but it was, he had to fight to get All-American. He lost in the quarterfinals. So, yeah, I mean, listen, things get tough, and when you're a freshman, sometimes people aren't used to it. Like his attack style was all over, right? Attack a million times, and I think people got used to it and started being more defensive. And Colin didn't do a better job of evolving his shot process and his setups, so he'd shoot himself out, so he'd get himself tired because he's just not getting his attacks. So I think that helped, and maybe there's some pressure and being expected to win. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Colin, yeah, he's a beast, and he's gonna do really well senior level, I think.
How does Colin? I guess Colin, Miles both probably roll with Jaden. How does that go in practice? I mean,
they're crazy. I mean,
it's gotta be fun to watch.
Yeah, Jaden. Jaden is in obviously a league of his own. But there's nothing like practice. It's like anybody can get it at practice at any certain day.
Sure.
So I mean, these matches are awesome. I mean, they're everything's practice matches. So we do a good job of trying to make it so there's no ego, where there's no, like, if you lose at practice, who cares? You're trying to learn. But when they do matches and stuff, it's fun. I mean, it's fun.
I bet. I'd love to be a fly on the wall. Just watch that. That'd be cool. But 285 coming down. Another one of the best Buckeyes to ever live. We got Kyle Snyder and Tony Nelson. So this one, man, have we seen this one in real life on the freestyle circuit? I mean,
No.
I know,
Yeah, Kyle's always been 297 kilo.
yeah, I didn't know how if Tony was always that heavy, but
This would be a good match, man. I think because Tony's so much bigger than Kyle. Obviously, I have Kyle. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if any heavyweight could beat him, but Tony's the best guy on his team. So it's yeah. I mean, Tony's a beast. This would be another match where I think it'd be similar to Kuhn match, where it's one takedown, but it's Tony Nelson's absolute beast.
What would Tony walk around at? What weight?
I actually don't know. I think he's I think he's so tall that even though he's ripped up and thin, I bet he's all of 260. But I could be off. I don't really have a good judge of big guys' weight. So
Yeah, no, it's hard.
yeah. Well, just some stats. Tony Nelson, 3-time finalist, 2-time champ. And then, talking about kind of like history, I guess, we kind of had in the heavyweight for a little while, that like curse of like heavyweights couldn't win 3 titles. Tony was going for his 3rd and Gwiz beat him. And then Gwiz was going for his 3rd and Kyle beat him. And then Kyle ended up breaking the curse and winning 3. But Kyle Snyder, 4-time finalist, 3-time champ, Olympic gold, world champion multiple times. We know all those stats. So yeah, man, I would, this is definitely a match I'd like to see. But I that low single shot, I don't think that Tony could stop it.
Mm.
Yeah, I think he gets one. I think Tony stands up a lot, because he's not really head pulled. He's smart, and I think Kyle gets one attack, and that's enough.
And Kyle's so good on his feet. Like that's where he dominates, right? He would take guys down, cut them, take them down again. Logan, what was it like being around Snyder as he's doing his world championship run, his Olympic run, all this stuff? What was that like being around him?
It's cool. I mean, I think Kyle, he led by example of just working hard, doing the right things and working hard, and it's something that it made it seem, and everyone will, it's easy to be like, oh, that's just Kyle, he's a freak or whatever, but he didn't do anything extraordinary. He just, the things he did it with extraordinary effort. So it was, for people around, it's like, I could do that because if nothing else, I could give that much. But the problem is nobody wants to give that much. But so it was cool, it was cool. And yeah, Kyle's a humble guy and did the right thing. So good leader. And
yeah. Would you say he was a leader even from his freshman year on the team?
Oh yeah. I mean, those guys, Kyle, Nate, and Bo, they were such leaders as freshmen. That was my senior year. And just with their work, I kind of, I wasn't alone, but I had different people with me. No one not really consistent in my work output. My 4 years there. So, having those guys there alongside me, helps because it's a little harder maybe to follow one person, but if 4 people are doing it, it makes a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Good take. All right, what's the score, Sam Herring?
21-0.
Oh,
And we can move down, I guess.
Real
to
quick before we move,
125.
I have a question as well. Okay, so obviously we know one of the hottest questions right now, as far as the Olympics is concerned, is dealing with a couple of Ohio State affiliated guys. We're talking about Snyder and Jaden. I'm not going to ask you to pick, but what's the what's this match going to come down to? What are we looking at with it?
It's gonna be a good match. I mean, I would say a normal match with someone elite, versus Kyle would be, conditioning, but Jaden's gonna be in shape. So I think it's just gonna be about who gets to their attacks. Jaden is, just incredible leg attacks, and he's extremely hard to score on, by the way. And I think that it's gonna be good. I think that if Jaden gets in, it's gonna be hard to stop, and I think that Jaden's defense is probably a little bit better, a little bit trickier, and obviously it's not really a knock on Kyle. Jaden's probably got the best defense in the world, so it's gonna be very interesting. It's gonna be for Jaden, it's gonna be he's gonna have to hold up and fight the whole time. Which he knows that. So yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. It's it's gonna be cool.
It's just crazy that it's an embarrassment of riches we have at a couple of these weights. Either of those dudes, I feel confident we could send to the Olympics, and they got a shot to win it. So it's insane. So cool, but we'll go right back around to the top 125. Nathan Tomasello versus Ethan Lezak. I guess I'll start it off with Ethan Lezak. Lezak, I believe, was a 4-time. He's either 3-time or 4-time. Nope, 3-time. 3-time All-American. He got 2nd, 4th, 7th. He did get second place. When I think Lezak, I think of him mostly at 33. But he actually did make the finals at 125 against Darian Cruz that year that Darian Cruz took out Thomas Gilman. And what I feel like a lot of people don't realize and don't remember is that Lezak actually beat Darian Cruz that year, and the only time they wrestled. So they wrestled one time. Lezak actually won that match, and I think he actually won by a pretty good margin. I can't remember what the score was, but he was very, very close to being a national champ. And obviously when you got a name like the Backpack, you're pretty damn good on top too. So, Backpack Lezak. Logan, tell us a little bit about Nathan Tomasello.
Yeah, so I told you guys the stats, and Nato wrestled Lezak, and Lezak turned him, and
Lots of
Nato
times,
got away and took him down a bunch to beat him. And but Nato's a beast. He had a great year this year, wrestling freestyle circuit, and he's someone who he's had a lot of misfortune or like injuries. He's fought through a lot, and he keeps coming back stronger. So this year was a great year for him. He chose to not wrestle at the World Team Trials in 2015 or 2019 to get ready for this year. And he beat Nashawn Garrett, and he lost to Spencer in the finals, and he wrestled Cuban in Cuba. Ortega had a heater with him. So yeah, I mean, Nate's just a good guy, and he's a good Buckeye, and Lezak's a beast. I don't know if Lezak ever beat Nato, so it'd be hard for me to pick. I mean, it'd always be hard for me to pick against Nato, but against someone who he's beaten a lot. So I got Nato, but it could be a wild match. I mean, Nate's teched him. Nate's beat him last second. I mean, it's been a bunch of weird matches. So
Yeah. If I'm taking peak Nathan Tomasello here versus peak Ethan Lezak, it's got to be Nato. That's it. I'm taking Nato. I have nothing else to say.
Yeah, I agree. It's Nathan Tomasello. I loved watching Lezak wrestle. I loved watching both these dudes wrestle. But me personally, I'm really a fan of that top game, and I really loved watching him on top and just punishing people on top. People just couldn't seem to figure it out. But Tomasello did, so Tomasello wins the match.
Ooh.
Have you? I mean, I assume that you've rolled around with Tomasello. How does that go?
Nato, it's good. I kind of have a kind of big brother thing on Nato. So he kind of lives in my club. I am bigger, and so things are good. Nato, I when you wrestle someone so much, you just know what to do. So I know that if he gets a high crotch on me, there's nothing I could do. If I knew God and he could help me, he wouldn't be able to help me. So I make sure that Nato does not get the high crotch on me, or I'm going skying.
Yeah.
LA, he weighs 125 and I weigh 155. I'm going high. So the goes are good. Nato, he's some guy. He keeps learning, and so they're fun. They're fun to do, and I can give him some unique looks. So they're fun in a way that I as long as I don't get beat up too bad in a hand fight, it's fun. But if he starts beating me up in a hand fight, then it's not fun. So
Yeah.
Tomasello is one of the guys that I've watched a whole lot. When I first started wrestling, and I started to get into watching film and studying the higher level guys, Nathan Tomasello was one of the guys that I really focused on because his style is very similar to mine. He's a lefty, and he hits a lot of post high crotches.
Lefties are good. I'm a lefty single guy, but lefty high crotches are good too.
That's what I do a lot, and so I've watched a whole lot of Nathan Tomasello film. Nice. And I gotta take him in this match for sure.
Yeah, I mean he beat Spencer Lee, right?
So talking about you wrestling guys in the room. I know we watch FRL. Saw you on not too long ago, and when you were on, you said that you hadn't wrestled HMA yet. So with this going on, you probably have.
I'm waiting for him to get really tired, and then I'll wrestle him.
Yeah, I saw you in the Flo film.
Yeah, I made
the crossing.
Made a little cameo.
A little subtle appearance.
Right. No, Anthony is he's just an absolute beast. I mean, so he's so strong, and you guys. I don't know if you guys have wrestled anyone overseas or any foreigners, but they don't quite understand, or they don't not understand, but they don't. There's not like an easy drilling, So it gets in the live fast. So and a few times when we've been able to talk to him or coach him up, we got almost put him with bigger guys because, man, he's a strong 174 pounder. He weighs about 150 pounds, 152 pounds of pure steel. So, yeah, he's an absolute stud. He's really nice, and he's extremely grateful. I think that not everyone is. You kind of just assume, right? Life's good, but for him, he's had to go through a lot of hardship. So he's someone who has been extremely grateful, and I hope that he continues to be that way because it's a good quality to have.
Wow, that's really nice.
Yeah.
That's really good to hear. Man, I have wrestled some foreigners before, but they were all Canadians, which are like nicer Americans.
Yeah.
That doesn't count. That's basically the same thing. Come on.
Hop, skip, and a jump. It's only like six hours from my house. But
all right. Well, let's get to our we're rolling 24-0.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt you real quick. But so I did an interview with Nazar Kolchisky from Ukraine, and I had asked him, I was like, what does a typical practice, because he lived in Ukraine until he was 16 years old. I was like, what does that look like overseas? And he's like, 45 minutes of gymnastics and then like maybe an hour or more of just live wrestling. And then they just like go live situations in different matches. So it's interesting that it's this, it seems like it's the same. A lot of places overseas that their practice structure is, heavily on the athletic, gymnastic stuff like that. Like obviously we all saw HMA do those insane flips and all that, but lots of live wrestling.
Yeah.
That's interesting, man.
Yeah. Awesome, man. I'm looking forward to his career. I'm really excited to see him. But 133 highlight match of the duel, if you ask me. I didn't think this duel was going to happen until we had a last minute lineup change. I guess Logan just decided that he was close enough to 133 and why not? But let's just jump into this. This is, you want to talk about just statistically, it's an awesome match. And remembering obviously, Logan and Jason wrestle. I would love to see this match. Have you guys ever actually wrestled before?
Yeah, so we wrestled twice. Twice. Once at 65 and once at 61. So 65, I teched him. 61, it was like 13-4, 13-5. But he's a beast. Hodge champion. Scored at the end. Maybe if I wrestled him in the finals, he would have taken me down at the end. So I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. He's a beast. He's great on top, and so I got to wrestle him in freestyle. So maybe that'll help my votes. But yeah, Jason's a beast. So
yeah, that like you're saying, like that national title that he won. That was like right around when I started watching wrestling. And I think that match, that like 16 seconds was one of the reasons I got into just like being such a wrestling fan. It was so exciting. It was such a cool match, such an awesome ending.
Wild.
It was insane. I remember watching that match and then like pulling my dad into the living room and like trying to hit that move for like hours.
Yeah.
But against Dennis, right?
Yeah, against Dan Dennis.
Yes. You see, I have a soft spot for Dan Dennis, and I always look at that match and feel sad because Dennis was our first ever interview on Home Mat Advantage. And in doing research for that, I watched that match several times. And like, I'm always like, and like you watch his Flo film and he talks about like how bummed he was after that match. I don't know. I always feel sad when I watch that match. I don't know.
Yeah. But
on the other hand, stepping across the line from Jason S., we have one Logan Stieber. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. Tim Hare, you want to tell us a little bit about Logie Bear?
I don't need to tell you too much. He's a 2016 world champion, 4-time NCAA champion. Where are you? You're the most recent 4-time NCAA champion there is.
Yes.
You won it the year after Dake.
I think
the year after 2 years.
I think 2 years after.
You won it 2015, so and
Dake was 2013.
Right.
That's 2 years after.
Yeah.
So your senior year, where you were part of the Ohio State national champion team, that was just insane with Tomasello, Snyder, Bo Jordan, yourself.
Yeah, it's wild. It was a fun team.
Yeah. And Yeah, there's not much more to be said. You probably lost what 10 folk style matches in your whole life. I don't know.
I don't know. I wrestled I wrestled probably too many matches growing up, so but probably something around that. I don't know.
That's
Hopefully the ones
crazy.
I lost when I was younger, I forgot.
And a Dan Hodge. He has a Hodge award.
Yeah, so we got 2 Hodge Trophy winners facing off, which I think that it's incredible that just like the level of talent in this match. But at the same time, it's not very hard.
I'll tell you guys my strategy would be to try to score 2 takedowns in the first period and on top, so I wouldn't have to go down. So I was okay on bottom, not the best though, but I wouldn't have put myself there. So my strategy would be to end on top first period with about minute 10 riding time, and then be good.
Yeah. Well, I'm picking Logan, and it's not too hard. And I would like to point out that I am not at all swayed by the guests that we have on here, like a certain couple other kids down there.
He's accused me of, I picked Seth Gross over Nashon Garrett last night.
Come on.
We had Seth on the call.
You also picked AJ. I think it's actually, it goes deeper than that. I think he picked, I just don't think he likes Nashon. You picked Shop against Nashon, right?
So did you.
Shop was good. Shop was tough though.
Shop was very, very good on top. If he does this, he gets at least 1 turn and riding time, and that's 5 points. That's way too many takedowns for Nashon.
Dude, imagine if he had
I've
wrestled.
talked about this before.
Man, imagine if he had wrestled like today with these top scoring like back points.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he would have been
7 points every period he's on top. Oh man,
I just think it's crazy. Like, you know, it was fun, man. You know, we got Seth Gross on last night, and just, you know, little old me sitting here arguing with Seth Gross about how he would lose to Nashon Garrett. Oh man,
that was a really fun episode. Let me tell you my pick. I'm picking Logan Stieber because, I mean, he's the 4-time. You know, he's four-time. He's never lost at the NCAA tournament. Peak Logan Stieber. Like, he's got to be the winner here. Also, Ness was losing to Dennis, right? And if I don't know, if you don't think Logan Stieber could beat Dan Dennis, like, I don't know. Dan's the man, but
I about cry every time I watch that.
You're all talking him up and then just throw him under the bus.
Oh, I mean, what I meant to say is Logan Stieber would beat Dan Dennis. And
all right,
Jason was losing to Dan. So.
I guarantee that at some point Seth watches this. So, Logan, is it Seth Gross or Nashon Garrett?
That's a good question. I think I just think that, you know, Nashon, you know, was especially, you know, when he won it, man, when his best was good, and you saw Seth,
very good. Yeah.
You saw Seth being able to get taken down, and I just think that I think Nashon would win. And it's not
awful matchup for Nashon.
It's a great match, and
yes,
and Sam probably knows more about wrestling than I do. I just don't think he would. I don't think he would get turned. I think if it came to the point where Gross had to pick top, that means he was down by enough points. Nashon would just chill if he needed to. Chill on bottom, not get turned. So I got Nashon. Nashon's my boy though, so it maybe that has a little influence. But I mean that'd be a good match though. I mean they've wrestled in freestyle.
It'd be incredible. Yeah, Nashon beat him both times.
They might wrestle again.
Yeah,
they might. We'll see.
Well, Seth wanted to argue with me last night, and he was talking about. This is so weird to talk about this, but he was talking about they had the same amount of takedowns every match. I was like, yeah, but Nashon's were like double legs and single legs, and Seth was doing just Seth Gross stuff, where like he's just
doesn't mean anything to me.
I mean, well, he's so much fun to watch because like so many times he'd hit these like awesome moves, but. Whatever. It's opinions. That's why this is so fun.
All right,
let's go 141. So 141.
27-0.
27-0. God.
Oh my gosh. So you can see why I switched this around because I think I don't know. I think it was a good decision.
Yeah. I mean, definitely.
Fletcher might not have beaten us. Yeah.
Luke Pletcher versus Mikey Thorne. Mikey Thorne is this is another one of those brothers where I can't remember who won what. I think Mikey Thorne was a two-time. Yeah, he was a two-time All-American, got 7th and 3rd. But there was 3 Thorns to go through Minnesota, all of which were
Tommy,
Tommy.
you got Mike, and you got
David.
Dave Thornton.
David.
Dave. And then their dad too, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh my goodness.
I think so. But
Whole pack of thorns.
yeah, so we got a bushel of thorns.
Thorn bush.
I don't know.
So Mikey Thorne, 2-time All-American, he got 3rd at his highest point, and then we got Luke Pletcher standing across from him. So tell us about Luke Pletcher, Logan.
Oh man, Lukey. He was so good, right, at 133, and then this year, just a different person. I mean, just so much power, so much intensity when he wrestled. I mean, I just, he's now assistant coach at Pitt, and I mean, Nick Lee is awesome, by the way. I mean, Nick Lee he's someone who is just, he's awesome, and for Luke to wrestle the way he did and beat him, I think I knew this already, but it just shows how good Luke is. So, and because I think Nick Lee is on probably on a people's echelon list higher than Luke, and Luke taking him out, the way he did, and the way he wrestled all year, man, he's just a beast. So I have Luke, but listen, this is Mike Thorne was tough. I think Luke would beat him in a similar way to how he beat maybe less points, but how he beat McKee this year. A tough match. He beats him up, tries to beat him up in the hand fight, and he gets a couple tough ones where it's I think Luke's comfortable, but it's just a hard match. And
Logan, what would you say is the biggest contribution to Luke's jump, where he doubled his bonus point percentage in 1 year? Actually, interesting. He doubled his bonus point percentage from his sophomore to his junior year, and then he doubled it again.
Yeah, I think that it helped that he didn't cut any weight, to 141. He's kind of like me, where he weighed about 155 probably in the summer. During the season probably 149, and from being 149 to 133 is tough.
Yeah,
9 to 141, it's 2 workouts. So it's I think that 1, he had a lot more energy. 2, I think he knew what you kind of hope, right? When someone's got a last chance, you hope that they turn it up, and they usually don't. He did, and he lived it. He was that good in August. In September, he was that good.
Right.
Which is hard because usually, honestly, in the fall we were kind of like, man, I hope he's not peaking. Because he's so good and so physical right now. You almost get scared, like, is this going to be the best version? And he continued to get better, which is crazy because, like I said, I wrestled him in the fall, and it was like a whole different animal. I was like, whoa. He was that good in May when he wrestled Ironman. He beat Ironman in the match.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, it's a different person. So
what were the actual adjustments that he made from Nick Lee match 1 to Big Ten finals?
It was his double leg. So it was knew he was gonna be able to beat him in the hand fight and get to a leg right away. And then it was late in the match. Can you be a little bit better shape and blast through him with the double leg? So it was like beat him, double leg. So. And that's why he took him down at the end.
I think the interesting thing about that matchup is that they're so close. Like Pletcher and Lee were so close that it's not like Pletcher's making huge adjustments, right? It's little minor things. It's cool to see that. It's really, really cool to see that. And like, without a doubt, like I'd have that bout circled as the national finals. That would be the one I wouldn't want to miss.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just those guys, I mean, they're just awesome guys, and they both attack so much. So it's like, you get some people on Penn State side, and you get it with other teams. Obviously, not just them, but them where they probably thought that Luke was stalling, because Lee did a bunch of a bunch of fake attacks and stuff, all this stuff. But it's like, come on, Luke stalling? That's like calling Nick Lee for stalling. No way.
Yeah.
Right? They're all over the place. So it's awesome matches.
Man, really good dudes too. All right, let's do these picks. I know who I'm picking. I'm taking Luke Pletcher, especially after the season we saw this year, where without a doubt, national finalist, national champion caliber.
I got Luke.
I'm gonna follow suit. Luke Pletcher was so good this season. I just wish I got to see him cap it off with his, could have been final. Depends on who got by Real Woods too. But man, he was so good this season.
Yeah.
Did Nick Lee wrestle? Wait, where were they in the bracket?
They didn't actually put brackets out. Oh,
They
They
did.
did get
they
brackets
did
out.
because they canceled on Thursday. I think it was So Dom Demas was a 5, Ian Parker was 4, Luke was 1.
Luke was 1.
Yeah,
Real must have been the 3.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah,
would have been Nick Lee
beat-
versus Real.
Nick beat him 6-3 at like the scuffle, or
3 years ago.
That was the year before.
Real Woods.
yeah, 2019. That was last year.
Real Woods
He-
only had 1 loss on the year
Ooh.
to Luke.
So we'll talk. I got a question. Obviously, we got to see that awesome Real Woods match with Luke. That was an awesome match. That was super cool way to basically like kick off the season at the beginning.
Against Pletcher.
So next year, 141. First of all, I don't know who Ohio State's rolling out. I mean, I'm thinking probably Chimindia. I don't know, but you don't have to talk about your guy. But the other guys at 141 next year, how do you see that shaking out? I mean, you got Real Woods, Yanni.
Ironman's back.
Ironman's
or he
back.
might be go to 49.
Well, I think Yanni's gonna move up,
Yeah.
but we'll see. We'll see. But I would imagine he's gonna move up.
Would you think that Ironman moves up because Lugo?
No.
Mm.
I mean, no disrespect, but I think if he wants to win the title, then he's I'm going 41. Because he can beat Yanni.
What about Yanni though?
Well, Yanni's gonna be 49, I believe.
For sure.
Oh, I think so. And then my
Well,
guy.
what do you think is best?
Vasso's gonna be there.
You competed. You competed around this this weight. Is it better to go? So he's wrestling 65 kilograms, which is 143.
Yep.
So is it better to go 41 all college season into gain some weight for gain a little bit, I guess. You can't really do much. For the freestyle season, or come down from 49, which is better?
I'll say this. I'll say 2 answers. The first answer is it's better to go where you're going to win the title. And the second answer is probably go down because you're going to make it a lot less. But with the rules the way they are now, it's a lot closer because of same-day weigh-ins. So it's like you don't want to be 162 going 149 and then cut to 143 because then you're going to have big issues. So, it's a lot closer than it used to be, but Yanni's probably the favorite, but I'm Ironman, right? I'm going where I can win the title, and the path is clear without Yanni. So
And if you're thinking like from the team perspective, they have Murin at 41, right? I guess you could put Murin at 49, and because Lugo's graduating, right? And
yeah, well, you probably go, listen, guys, we have 2 great 41s, and here's the deal: whoever wins the wrestle off, unless you guys go different weights, fine. But if not, whoever wins the wrestle off chooses, and you have 2 good guys at both weights.
Yeah. Cool. So are we on the last one?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're rounding to the end.
Oh my gosh, it's 30-0. It's
30-0. It is currently the same score that Penn State put up on Lehigh in round 1. So we got the last match. We got Lance Palmer, Brayton Lee. Brayton Lee's resume is long if you want to go back to high school and all that kind of stuff. Making junior world teams, and this year earning a first team All-American spot But we've only seen him for 1 year, and unfortunately that year had COVID in it. But I think we can all agree he's a stud. He's got some pretty good wins on his resume. Super fun
high
rivalry
pace.
with Logan's guy Sasso. That's a super fun rivalry. We're lucky to see play out over the next couple of years.
Real nice guy too.
Yeah, we had him on the last show for Minnesota, Illinois, and he's about the nicest guy there is, I swear. So
me?
Do what?
Is he nicer than I am?
Yeah.
Funnier than I am?
After watching your armbar, I don't know.
Well, I just wanted
it's
to
tough
win.
to say how nice somebody is.
All right, Logan.
I hurt him.
Logan.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking with you.
Listen, dude.
What?
Tell us a joke, okay? If you can tell one joke.
I've been telling jokes the whole time. You guys have been laughing the whole time.
All right. Hey, can you hit us with one like stand-up comedy bit right here?
I'm not a stand-up comedy guy. I'm kind of an on-the-fly guy. So I can't hit you up with any jokes because that's not really that's premeditated. Mine's like
on the fly. It shows your quick wit. How you're able to.
I'm pretty quick with it. So.
What's
all right?
What's that rivalry? I mean, we say rivalry, but like, is it a rivalry? For those guys, like you've been around them, and like, what's that kind of match?
I mean, I think they're both young, so there's so many good guys. But since they wrestle each other a lot, it's definitely a rivalry. It's something where, Brayton Lee, and usually the matches he's won, he's gotten Sammy tired. So but the last time they wrestled, Sammy got him tired. So it was pretty cool stuff. I mean, I know Brayton just a little bit. I've met his dad at a camp. Awesome guy, and it's cool. I mean, it's something where the best type of rivalries are when they both want to win so bad it hurts when they lose, but then they're not jerks. And the way I see it, they're both good guys. I mean, they both want to win bad, and they both have their own personalities that are opposite, but they're both not jerks. So it's cool.
Are they actually like buddies off the mat, or are they just kind of like indifferent? Or
honestly, most just because of the amount of time you see each other, most people aren't. I wouldn't say buddies. It's just because you just don't see them. So it's like I wouldn't call me and Brayton Lee buddies, or because it's like I never I don't ever see them. But I think they're different. So I would say probably indifferent. I mean, it's like they don't crash to each other when they walk by each other. So I think it's good. I just don't know if buddies.
Yeah, well, that's what I was.
Right, it's just you're not gonna see him that much. But
that's why I said indifferent, because like it, when you watch him win, I've seen it, watched it go either way, and I feel like both times they kind of after the match, kind of said something to each other, but it wasn't like a bad. It was kind of like a good job, or like sportsmanship.
They have a small celebration, and then when they shake hands, they say great job to each other. It is what it is. So good stuff.
It's cool. Well, on the other side, we got Lance Palmer, and you said you have wrestled with him in the room. So
he's great on top, hard to take down, and now he's winning all these fights, making good money. So he's a beast. I this one's not fair to Brayton because his career hasn't been he's not over. So I think right now at this point,
not even a full year.
At this point, it's Lance, and honestly, freshman Brayton Lee with the best Lance Palmer, it might be a punishing match. Legs in on top, it could be a punishing match. But hey, come back in 3 years, and who knows, right? Might be
you could have some titles in front of him, that's for sure.
Right, exactly. So I could be wrong. It could be different in a couple years, but right now, I think it's a senior Lance Palmer putting a hurting on not in a bad way, right? It's like trying to give you guys real
for sure.
But I think it'd be legs in, and I don't know if he could turn them, but it would be whether you turn them or not, it would be hurtful for Brayton.
Sorry, Brayton. I'm also picking Lance Palmer here in this match.
Me as
Wow,
well.
what a duel though, huh? Good duel for the Buckeyes.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, this is like the number 3 versus the number 6, and they blew it up.
Wait, hold on.
Ohio
So,
State
Sam,
should not be.
Sam,
What's up?
did you put my vote up there?
It's a good team.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna landmine, go ahead.
Yeah, that's
what are you doing?
unfortunate because Brayton Lee is getting beat down for 3 periods and then goes for the why the hell not move and lefty headlocks Lance Palmer.
What?
Last 10
Oh
seconds of the
man,
match.
why?
Sticks him. And
So that
the Gophers
believe
get
you
on the
wait-
board.
Can't believe you wasted a landmine on that.
I can't believe that either. That's absurd.
Man.
Surprising.
We could have overthrown Iowa.
No, see, looking through,
Jude's
looking
so
at
ready to do that.
I
looking
got
at
a game plan.
my landmine spots. I had one planned last night and I wish I had used it. I was gonna landmine Seth Gross while he was on, but I chose not to because I thought we were gonna win it anyway. But Brayton Lee's my guy, man. He's awesome. Super nice dude. Got personal connections, so I got to go with my man Brayton Lee. He's got to get the Gophers on the board.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. Brayton Lee's a beast, so
And-
Have you
and
seen
I
him
mean-
hit a lefty headlock before? He's not really that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Sam's a lot more realistic. I like Sam. He gets
Whatever.
I like
Hey,
Brayton, man.
realistic.
I like Brayton.
I want to point out that I don't know if you guys
Oh,
heard the
here we
first
go.
half of my match. Lance was beating on Brayton very badly, right? And he just went for it.
Sometimes you just
Sometimes
gotta
you
go
get it.
for it, right? You guys
Sometimes you get it. And
channeled his.
Brayton Lee will snap you down, hit a go behind on you all day long, but I've never seen him hit a
Hey,
lefty headlock.
if you're gonna go for it, then what better move than a headlock in
Sam,
the last
why-
30 seconds of the
Send a
match?
text to Brayton Lee and find out what move he would hit on Lance Palmer if he was losing by 14 with
Well,
10
we-
seconds to
Hey,
go.
Sam's here
No.
for the pureness of the sport, and he's not about this landmine stuff.
I've
Says
had
the
some
guy
good-
that started it with a
I've had some
landmine.
good landmines.
With Micah Jordan over Dylan Ness.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, man, I had to give him some love. Yeah.
Brayton Lee last week said he was not looking forward to this match.
He said he was going to be training. We told him, we were like, you got Lance Palmer next. He's like, oh, that's going to be tough, but I'll get training. So he was ready mentally and he got it.
So
But all right, man. Well, I mean,
30
that
to
wraps
6
up the
then.
duel. 30-6. Put my points on the board, Sam.
I'm putting him up there. Goodness gracious. I'm glad you got your
And your boy, aren't you proud of yourself?
I had to do it, man. Had to do it.
No, you didn't.
You
I
did.
did.
You goober.
Come on. This is the all-decade duels. These are the best teams of the decade from every team. Like we can't have a team get blanked.
Yes, we can.
It did. It already happened.
Lehigh got blanked by Penn State. Come on.
Do you remember how sad Mason Beckman was about that? We brought Mason Beckman on, Logan, to have him talk about Lehigh, and every match he was like, I gotta go with Penn State here, but
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't have to pick against my Buckeyes. So
well, hey,
Yeah.
dang.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it. Had a good time. A lot of fun talking to you. I love talking wrestling for sure, and being able to ask you questions and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
yeah, man, that was fun. Thanks for having me, guys. You guys did a
Absolutely.
good job, and I'm definitely, it wasn't on my radar for some reason or another, but now it is. So don't worry. If the Buckeyes don't do well, you'll hear from me.
Awesome.
We'll see.
Logan.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure to make your acquaintance, my friends. I'm glad that you could come on. Sam Herring, Jacob, you guys are the men.
One
And,
singular man.
You guys are a man.
All right, guys. Well, that'll wrap up our episode. Make sure that you check it out. Check us out on social media. Give us a rating on Apple Podcasts, wherever you see it. But thanks for listening, and we will see you next time for Iowa versus Missouri.